knocking these Best Picture nominations out one by one, but I have two long ones left. Drive My Car, which is 3 hours, and Nightmare Alley, which is 2.5. So it's like watching Lord of the Rings for these final couple films, and I just got to get through it. But I did luckily get a 2 hour and 13-minute film that I just finished watching called Licorice Pizza, and so let's get right into it. Licorice Pizza follows Elena, who's a 25-year-old, and she's in this point of her life where she's trying to find love and purpose. She's not really sure where she's going, and she meets this 15-year-old named Gary, who's this very ambitious young man who is trying to get Elena, but there is that age difference there, and he is also trying to build up his career for when he's older, because at this point he's kind of like a small actor, and he's just kind of getting into different business ventures to try to make some money. And they do form a platonic relationship, and they kind of they become business partners, and they go on this kind of wild journey together, trying to accomplish what they're both, working towards. So yeah, and to just get this out of the way, like I said that he's 15 and she's 25 now. I don't know if in the 70s this was like more accepted or not as frowned upon or illegal, but they don't do anything crazy in the movie, but they still fall under like illegal territory. I kind of just wanted to get that out of the way. I have no idea. So with that out of the way, I guess let me go into the actual film, which I think Paul Thomas Anderson, it's just hard to be like he made a bad film, because he doesn't make bad films. And this is his 9th one, and as far as the title Licorice Pizza, I feel like almost more people are going to be curious as to why it's called that and go see it to find out than to actually see the movie. And from what I read, apparently vinyl records back in the day were called Licorice Pizza because the record itself kind of had a shine like black licorice, and it was the size of a small pizza, so that's what they call them, which to me just sounds strange, because you could have just called it vinyl pizza. I don't know. But also apparently in the San Fernando Valley, which is where Paul Thomas Anderson grew up, and this is the setting of this movie, there was a chain of, I don't know if it's just music stores or record stores called Licorice Pizza. So as far as what I heard is he said that this movie just really reminds him. It's a very reminiscent film of how he grew up, and where he grew up and everything like that. So it really doesn't matter at all to the story. There's vinyl within the story. They use vinyl for like water beds, but it's not integral to the story at all, which leads me to my next point. There's nothing in this movie that is really integral. It's not like a drama. It's really a comedic take on a story, again, about someone who's trying to find love and purpose, and then kind of finds it within a younger 15-year-old kid that she met. The best way I can really explain this film is, to me, it kind of feels like a compilation of sitcoms, and it's like, so I know that may have a bad connotation to it, because usually when sitcoms or TV shows come out with like a movie, it's usually pretty bad. But I don't mean that in this sense. I mean that because it's kind of like, you could take this movie and you can divide it into like multiple sections, and then there's multiple cameos of the different people. Like a sitcom may have some sort of famous actor or whoever, they get like this certain star actors that come in for an episode or a couple episodes, and then they're kind of gone. And that's how this is. It kind of moves on like that. For example, a couple people that shine in this to me are like Sean Penn and Bradley Cooper do a really good job. And I think across the board, everyone who sees this movie, who has reviewed this movie, tends to really love Bradley Cooper's performance in this, because it's wild. It's just, you're very glued to the screen, and you're kind of wondering what's going to happen next with him, because he's such a edgy character. How do I explain it? He's a very random character. Like, it almost feels like you never know what he's going to do next or what he's going to say, and you're just waiting for him to say it or to do it. So he does really well in this. Sean Penn is one where he's kind of like, I guess he's this big time actor, but he's like strange in the head. He has like this big ego, but also the things that he say don't really make sense. And it just works really well with like Elena and her trying to find love and her constantly being on this roller coaster of like finding someone and just really forcing feelings with someone because, you know, she's trying to find love and she's so desperate at this point to do it. There was a couple other really good cameos. One coming from Skylar, I don't know if it's Gisando or Gisando, but I think his last like he doesn't, I haven't seen him in big roles recently, but he wasn't Booksmart in a small role, which I thought he was great in, and I think his real small role in this was really well done. So I do want to see more of him. It's just like every time these last couple movies that I've seen him in, I'm like really interested in his character, and he plays his character really, really well. So it's like I kind of wish he was in it more. So I really liked him, but there was also a couple more cameos in this one. Again, like I said, it's sitcom. It just, there's different sections of the movie, different things going on at different times, and then different like stars or semi-stars, whatever you want to call them, make their way into the film and play some sort of part. So the couple of other actors that were in this that I thought did a really good job in their roles were Benny Safdie and Joseph Cross. I thought they did a really, really good job. It's funny because where most of this movie is pretty much comedic throughout. I mean, there's parts where it's like drama, but it's that drama that's in comedies. It's almost like just, it's unrealistic. Not, I don't want to say it's unrealistic, but the tone of it comes off as still like a comedic drama, if that makes sense. But there's a scene with Benny Safdie and Joseph Cross and Elena Heim. Their characters, I forgot their names, but it's like a really, really well done scene, like really good. I would watch it again. Like this is a type of scene that I kind of watch more just to get those, it's those little cues, those little acting cues, and those little things that just make it feel very real. And again, it's the 70s, and so this particular thing that's going on in this conversation that's going on is very believable, especially for the time. And they did really, really well. And in case you don't know, Benny Safdie, he's part of the Safdie brothers. He's actually like he directed Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler, Good Times with Robert Pattinson, and they've done other things as well. But yeah, so Benny Safdie actually has acted a couple times, like in Good Time in his own film he did as well. But he does really good in this, so I really like him as an actor. I think he does really well. And again, Joseph Cross, he's been in a few things. He's not like a major actor, but he does really, really well in this. And his interaction with Benny Safdie and his interaction with Elena are really good in this movie. So that was like a highlight scene for me. Aside from that, I mean, I don't have too many gripes. Again, there's not too much to dislike with this film. I think it's funny. It's a well-made film. It's not something that I will go and rewatch multiple times just by choice. It's definitely something I'm willing to watch again. It's just by choice. You know, there's so many other movies I need to see and shows and things like that where it's just, I probably won't go back to this one just for myself. Maybe once in a couple years or something that I might, because it is a good movie and I did really enjoy it. Yeah. I think for this movie, my rating, I'm going to give it a 7.8 out of 10. Not quite an 8, but it was good. And if this sounds like your kind of thing, your kind of movie where it's comedy with a bunch of cameos and really well done cameos and the exploration of love and purpose and things like that, then I think this is something that you may be interested in watching. With that being said, I mean, go ahead and like the video if you did. Leave a comment on what you thought on the movie. Subscribe, hit the notification button so you know when I come out with another review. But yeah, that's all for me. I gotta knock out some more of these last two Best Picture films, and then I've seen them all and I can make my ranking list. But yeah, I'm glad you came to watch this review, and I hope to see you on the next one. So have a good day.